It's time once again for the A7FL 3-on-1 podcast. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Ryan, joined as always by Cory Hammond and Big Rob Fabien. And this week we have a guest here with us on the A7FL podcast, one of the owners of the divisions of the American Sevens Football League, coming to us from the state of Massachusetts, is Denzel White. Denzel, welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you having you on, Denzel. First question, it's what we got to ask almost everyone who comes on the show, whether they're a division owner, player, however you want to describe yourself within the context of this league. I consider myself fancy boy, but that's a different thing that I got to work out in my contract. When it comes to the A7FL, how did you find it? How did you come across it? And how did you decide you wanted to bring it to Boston?
All right. How did I find it? How did I come across it? So we're going to go back about a year and a half in my mind, and I'm an investor. So I like to find new things to invest in. I'm always looking for the next thing to invest in, to be honest. I have my price margins, and if it fits that, then I do it. So the investing portion originally in A7FL, when I found it on Start Engine, it was within my price range to invest. So I said, all right, I'm going to invest. At that same time, I was just in a circle where people were talking about football, and they were talking about folks that tried to buy into the NFL and were denied. And I was like, well, that sucks, to be all honest. Like, y'all got the millions of dollars, and they said no. Who says no to millions of dollars? I don't understand this. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, it would be dope if I could own something in football. I don't got millions of dollars, not yet. I want them, but not yet. And I was like, wait, I invested in a new football league. Let me contact the owners and find out maybe something can happen there. You know, you don't know until you try, and the worst you get is a no. And I'm okay with no. If you get a no, you move on. Keep moving forward. My favorite quote by Disney. So that's what I did. I reached out to the owners directly, email, got a phone call back. We had small side conversations, and then they said they would inform me when the time is right. Time was right. They informed me, filled out an application, did all the things that you got to do to apply to be an owner of a division, went through all that, and next thing I know, I'm the owner of a division. That's how that came about. It was all on Start Engine, just me looking for new investments to build up my wealth. I forgot the third part of that question.
What were your thoughts about bringing that style of football to Boston? But I want to point out real quick, Rob, Cory, it's similar to Derek Duncan's. When you found out you could buy a division in the A7FL, was it in fact at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, what time was it?
Basically.
Well, it's a weird question, but the reason we ask is it's the very similar story that you just told in how you kind of came across it and what made you as an investor think that this was a good idea. The division owner of the Las Vegas division, the Nevada division, Derek Duncan, admitted to us that he actually was scrolling on Facebook at 3 a.m. And the joke is that that's the only thing that ever happened to work out in someone's favor while scrolling Facebook at 3 a.m. So that was the joke.
Okay.
Did you find us in normal hours, or was it one of those situations that you were?
No, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I don't think it was.
Maybe this is the formula.
Maybe like 1 or 2. It might not have been as late as 3, but I was definitely scrolling. My Facebook,
Matt,
my Instagram is good to that.
Matt, get in touch with marketing. We have to amp up the ads during those hours because for some reason
12 to 4 a.m.
That's when we find the best. That's when we find the best potential audience.
It's gonna be me with a visor at 3 o'clock in the morning, just writing copy for voraciously. How do I get these guys? All right, I got a new cadence here, everybody. We're gonna be posting 90 times between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. No other times.
And by God,
nothing else is going on, so you're just like, you might be hyper focused on it, and that's what it is. It's like,
yeah.
Nothing like coming home from the club at 3 a.m. and being like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a football division. I'm gonna own a football league. Fuck it.
Fits with our league. Nothing's more perfect.
It's our time here in the A7FL.
You're making smart money decisions, and as members of this league for a really long time in a lot of different ways, all of us, I think we would probably agree with the sage and wise decision there. But what else about, because you were mentioning getting in with investors in the NFL, what else about football specifically drew you to being this is a worthwhile investment? Because there's tons of things, there's apps, there's wastes of time, there's some idiot has a screenplay, there's tons of ways that you can go and invest in air quotes money. What made you think that this was going to be something that wouldn't not just be like a cool thing to say, but a way to kind of get towards those millions and the solid gold boats that we keep talking about?
And honestly, I when I'm looking for investments, I'm looking for things that will grow. And this is young enough where it piqued my interest to say, okay, I'm willing to invest the time, the energy to grow with this company, grow with this train, to see where it goes, and just keep chugging on until my end, not the end of the A7FL. I'm talking about me being an old man with a cane, and then you got a flower on my chest saying my end. Football in general, this style, it brings me back to being a kid, just like I said in my original interview. It really just me and my friends going out to the park with a football and with uneven teams, and it just be the big dudes. And I was one of those big dudes. I was in the 6th grade weighing like 200 something pounds. I was way heavier than all my friends, and I loved it. I didn't care.
That's right. Fat boys represent. That's right. And what? And what?
I used to challenge people downhill, and I'll roll my butt down the hill. I'd be like, I never said this was a foot race. No, I said this was a race down the hill. I was rolling. Okay, and my fat butt roll real fast.
I think that's a South Park episode.
I think wasn't that a Limp Bizkit song?
That is a Limp Bizkit song.
It was.
I don't know who Limp Bizkit is, but hey, they got a great song then. But yeah, no, it really brings me back to that time. And me and my friends, the bigger friends, it'd be us versus our smaller friends. And I mean, a lot of times we just kind of like walk across the field because they couldn't take our big bus down. But
what position were you playing in those days?
I'm gonna have to call it "Fat Boys Are We," because it was it was just the big boys.
You guys took turns at glory. You took turns at glory. Everybody gets a turn.
Yeah, that's basically it. It was that, and we played kill the man with the ball, which is you get the ball, everybody tackles you. So but honestly, the A7FL, when I seen it online, I looked it up. I was like, yo, that kind of reminds me of what we used to do as kids and just have fun. There's no pads, there's no helmet. We're not trying to kill each other. We're just out there having fun. And the players look like they're genuinely having fun out there versus other people that are like, I don't want to say A7FL players aren't serious, but when I'm watching other players, they don't look like they're having that same genuine type of fun, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm watching A7FL players go out there and they dancing on the sidelines, getting it down on the field and then doing a little dancing. Unlike some other leagues, you're not getting penalized for having a little cool dance.
No, some of our players, some of our refs like just throw dollars.
Like, I like the joy that it genuinely brings to people, and that they just want to get out there and play and have fun and basically be free and bring them back to a time where they didn't have bills, they didn't have this, they didn't have that obligation. It was just go with your friends and have some fun. So that's really what brings me into this. I love the camaraderie between the owners, between the players. I see a lot of great relationships being built online, on Instagram specifically, of players just communicating with each other from other teams, other divisions, and they're like, yeah, I love this, I play in this league, and then we do this, we do that. And like, I love seeing that because, yeah, there's competition there, but it's a friendly competition. At least that's what I'm seeing, a friendly competition. I don't expect to ever play a game where I genuinely see somebody be like, I'm going to beat your booty. Like, I'm going to kick your butt on the field. We're going to see who can run.
They're not going to use that word.
They're not going to use that word. Well, as as fun as it is, and as fun as it is, as it has always been. Wow, that was really tough for me right there. There is some of that animosity as it gets deeper and more competitive, and as this brand is growing nationally. You know, we have interstate rivals almost at this point, and you know, those will continue to build as these matchups continue to shape out. But Denzel, as it you know, relates to your division specifically, what, first of all, you know, as a you know, podcast host, you know, analyst, you know, personality also playing, are you going to be, you know, Denzel White, owner of the team, but also make appearances? It sounds like you're about to having a good time. Are you getting out there on the field yourself?
Okay, I'll be on the field. I won't be playing on the field.
All right, fair.
I'll be on the field.
Fair. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Wanted to see, you know, kind of test to see. But you know, that being said, what are you looking at and excited to do as someone now that, you know, not only, you know, can just turn on, you know, PS5, I'm assuming if you're buying football leagues, I'm sure you can afford the game console to play on Madden. But, you know, turning on Madden and playing, you know, a franchise mode in a simulation, now you basically can do it in real life. What kind of football, you know, are you more drawn to? What kind of, you know, things could we expect from, you know, what you're looking to build up there in the northeastern section of our great country?
If I'm understanding the question right, I want to build a full league. I want all 8 teams to be friendly with each other, but very competitive. I mean, I want the brands individually to explode. I want the fans to be like, I am an Omega fan to the day that I die, and down the street is the Red Claw fan, and I want them having friendly fan rivalries, like neighborhoods going up with red here, purple here, yellow there, blue over there.
Sounds like a pretty dangerous neighborhood. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to see. I say football gangs, friendly football gangs. People say our team is gonna win. Like everybody comes down to the field and they root for their team, but at the end of the day, they're like, "Hey, this is Boston, so no matter which of these 8 teams goes out there and does it, it's still Boston, it's still Massachusetts. They represent it, and at the end of the day, everybody is still happy." But then next year, you know, you still root for the team that you want to win and hope that they get there. That's what I want to see. I want to see a lot of energy.
But then what happens when that Boston champ plays a team from like the New York, New Jersey area, though? The animosity has to amp up at that point.
Yeah, that's why all Boston got to come together.
All right,
every game, cool. I plan to go out there and tell them, like, hey, y'all can cheer at each other now, but it don't matter who wins. When we get to the championship, I need everybody here.
Everybody, big Boston
to put all that energy into that one Boston team, because we need to have that. You know, on the separate levels, we can have our little in-house Massachusetts fighting, you know, north, south, east, west, whatever. But as soon as we go to that other territory, north, south, east, west come together, it's Massachusetts versus them.
And we've seen that a lot in the A7 when it comes to, you know, when Florida played Baltimore or when Baltimore travels to New Jersey in the Final Four, they're rooting for those specific teams from their town, from their state, from their area, because it is a brotherhood. It's this group of, like, Rob, Cory, in a hypothetical, if you guys played for the Snow Tribe this season, Rob, I know, this is just a hypothetical, but if you both were on the Snow Tribe this year and you lost in the semifinals, like the conference, you know, Final Four, and the BIC were the ones playing in the chip against Las Vegas, like let's say they're playing the Hunters, you're going for the BIC, you're rooting for the BIC, and it's like
100%.
Yeah. And
I don't even want to make that any more clear based on the hypothetical scenario that you just said. How much more clear it would be that I would be rooting for the team other than the other team that you mentioned, and that has nothing to do anything, you know, specifically, guys, right? But anyway, there's also, I think, these interesting, you know, little buddies with divisions, because for whatever reason, Well, and the opposite. Whatever reason, whenever Maryland is in a tussy or whatever you want to call it with one of these other divisions, I for whatever reason I got Maryland's back.
No, it's the longevity of guys like the Maryland guys have been in the league for a while.
And there's these weird like clicks, and it's like for whatever reason, like I don't know why, but the Vegas guys and the Florida guys seem to just want to fight each other.
Yeah.
It's like they're in the heat. It's so hot there. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You've been to Florida. It's Florida. You've been there?
It's on site. And they've never seen each other.
Well, because last year they both had their level up year. And Vegas got the headlines for a bit, and then Mark Bagway came in, proved he's a top 3 maybe quarterback in the league. Not a lot of people are going to be happy with the fact that I said that. Player. Now,
I agree. Player, definitely player.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
He may dislike the show. He may have not come on multiple times. The guy can play football at an elite level that it's hard to duplicate in this league, especially. Period. I mean, we don't have to go into a different situation there.
But Denzel, when it comes to like a player like Mark Bagway, finding that diamond in the rough for the Omegas, for the team that's entering play this season for the A7FL, for Boston's first offering, what are you looking for to be the player that carries this team and gets them into situations where they might be playing against the Patterson U, the BIC. They may be going up against Cory a couple of times if you can't convince him to become an Omega. It's so many different things that you have to look for. Is it a player that will fit your scheme? Is it a player that will draw attention and draw ticket sales? What are the things that you look for in an Omega or a member of the A7FL Boston division?
So, that's like a 2-part question. You know what? Well, right now I'm gonna just focus on the Omega because that's the team I'm building up for this season, and basically that star player. I want all my players to be that star player. Everybody have that potential, be able to pick up the slack if somebody else can't do it. It's not even really slack, just be able to pick up where somebody left off if, for whatever reason they were unable to play at a game. But I'm looking for, that star, the person that, for one, wants to be there, right? That if they're not just showing up because they're like, I'm good and I can carry the team type of attitude. Like, no, you got to want to be there. You got to want to share the glory. You got to want to have fun. And, for one, you definitely got to know how to play the game because I don't want somebody there that has all that and then they can't catch a ball, throw a ball, run, or get hit. Like you got all the energy I want, but you have zero skill. You got to have the skill. But that's basically it. And personally, I have my division manager one who is actually the one that recruits. Like, he fills out the recruits, figures out what they're best at, tests them out on the field, and he's the one that really spearheads that. But in terms of me, I'm honestly just looking for a player that knows how to play on a team and is not big-headed and wants to have all the showboat stuff to themselves, like, I'm the big bad wolf on the field, nobody can touch me. That's nice to, build up, marketing schemes and everything. But now you got people that don't want to play with you. So I need people that want to play with each other. You got to have fun on the field, be serious when it's time to be serious, but be able to build that camaraderie, that family, that kinship with your fellow players. Because if you can't do that, I don't got no place for you on my team. If you're not a team player, I don't have players. There ain't no I in team. Old school saying, but it's true. Ain't no I in team.
I always said that there's a me, though.
That is not a surprising answer from Cory.
That's the most Cory Hammond answer Cory Hammond could ever Cory Hammond.
Podcast character. Oh, that's a podcast character answer for sure. Denzel, Matt's trying to, pander me out to all these different places. And one of the places he said I might end up playing is Boston. This is an admission. I'm a huge Boston sports fan. So, one of the things that we know as, fans of Boston sports, at least, especially, I guess, in the early teens, what do we call those? But in the 2010s and beyond, Boston, it seemed like the Celtics were always winning, Bruins, even the Red Sox, who were famously never winners, now were finally winners. You know, is that the type of pedigree that you're bringing to this league, and that's what your expectations are? Or is it a little bit more of the fun thing that you were kind of mentioning earlier? Because I would say that there's room for both, but if it's the latter and you're here more for fun, you know, get in touch with Matt. We'd love to, you know, schedule, you know, 2 trips to Boston for fun against the Rahway Snow Tribe. You already know.
So for me, it's always about fun. Because if you're not having fun, then you're not living. That's just my personal philosophy in living life. But you are right. Boston, especially when it comes to football, though, is known well for winning, and not just winning, just like devastating other teams. So I don't want to put myself on that pedestal yet as we're building this team, but I would love to be up there with those other teams. I mean, like, let's just talk about Brady for a second. Dude carried the Patriots for so long. Everybody that loved the Patriots loved that they had that. I would love to have that. Who wouldn't love to have that? That's great. One, it's great for the entire league.
Denzel, you said it yourself. You're a guy that loves to ask questions. I mean, he's done with his season and maybe, you know, available. You said you don't mind to know. You said you don't mind to know. You might as well reach out. I was going to say, has Bill Belichick returned your call? Because
you just want another guy in the league who's older than you at quarterback. Like, this is all you want.
Cares about.
This is all you care about.
He cares about. It's a setup always.
What? My son is named what?
Brady.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But
do you want to be the guy who ruined? Do you want to be the guy that gives Tom Brady that Y.A. Tittle picture we all know as football fans, where he's just cash moneyed on the field? You're just staring at me.
Well, I was gonna say Denzel didn't get our earlier reference about Limp Bizkit. I don't know if he's gonna know Y.A. Tittle, Matt.
Look, I know.
I don't know.
We'll keep rolling. I can't sing. My bad. You don't own the rights to my voice. I'm sorry for derailing the show, Denzel. You asked what this show was about. It's basically you 3 on me 1, just trying to destroy the whole thing. So I do apologize. But I can't help myself. I always try, and you'll hear that later. We already talked about so what are we naming some of these teams? Because you said 8, and I think the names of teams are awesome sometimes. And I do have a question for you, and I don't know if you guys know where I'm going.
Oh, no, I know where this is going.
But we do have the Boston Omegas, or is there a different, you know, like tag for the region or area of Massachusetts?
No, we got the
Beantown.
So the 4 teams that have the names that have been released. So we have the Bees, we have the Red Claws, the Boston Omegas, and the Beans. Boston
the Beans? Well, you got the Beans?
Boston, the Beans. Because, you know, Boston's good for them baked beans. We worked that in there. We got the Beans. And it's an angry bean, though. Don't sleep on the bean.
I've seen the bean.
When I put that team together, that's going to be an angry bean.
I have seen the bean. It is an angry bean.
That is an angry bean.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns, there's only one thing that comes to mind when I think of that. So anything's better than that. And that's a professional team. So it is what it is. Beans, you know, we're going to have to grow. That's going to have to grow on me. But to be honest, it still isn't even half as bad as one of the worst names in professional sports, which is the Spank Town Boys, even though I just learned what that was, as it used to be what Rahway was called. But so we have 4. Can I ask a serious question and see what your thoughts are, Denzel, as this is your division?
Oh, God.
Is there a way to not only bring pop culture and history into the thoughts and minds of our fans and name a team, the Boston Tea Party, but the logo is a symbol, like a silhouette of Mr. T with big gold chains? Can it be the Boston Tea Party, but the tea, not the tea that we spilled in the Revolutionary War, but Mr. T?
I mean, we'd have to talk to Mr. T's people, you know, get some paperwork signed.
I mean,
don't humor him. This is going to become our. You do this, it's going to become our problem. Like,
if you get a team, I love my Snow Tribe guys.
Party. You have Mr. T out there like the with the hope. That'd be dope.
And if Mr. T doesn't want to, if
line up
Mr. T
against
doesn't
the
want to do
Boston
it,
Tea Party.
if Mr. T
Yeah,
doesn't want to do it, you guys can use my silhouette. Which is
that will just be the bachata Robs. I would do that too. But if you get a team out there that's the Boston Tea Party, and let's be fair, you know, I just talked to RTC. Who knows what the future holds with me? You know, we're talking about how old Tom Brady is. I'm not hanging these things up. Everybody's like, when are you stopping? I don't know. If you get a Boston Tea Party and it's Mr. T and Mr. T's involved, you also have a very old quarterback. And now you could deny me. You might have somebody better at that point. But if that happens and my guy Mr. T is involved and he's okay with it, then I pity the fools that come against us on Sundays.
He couldn't wait to sneak that in there.
I already said it once. I had to beat the dead horse.
That is good though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like ideas. I'm an idea person. When I talk to the youth, I tell them, take every idea you get, write it down. Because if you don't, you're gonna forget it. So
ask Matt and Rob about my ideas on the group chat. I might make you regret saying that. But that's why
every day.
I almost worked a Frozen song to diss Vegas. That didn't work. That didn't work out. Sorry, Vegas. That song will never see the light of day. But getting back to more personal and serious notes, since we have already put on the Cory Hammond, clown makeup, let's just get it out of the way, man, because I think Rob's about to take an L. Denzel, on this 3-on-1 podcast, we have merch. And now it's not just any merch. It's some great merch, okay? tinyurl.com/A7FL merch for everyone listening. I already know that Kelly Hurst out there, she was talking about how she's got the Thick Boy season having G Hurd. Rob, did you see the picture? G Hurd posing in the Matt Ryan
I've definitely
pose?
seen it.
Let's shout out to OTT for some great work there. That's some great work. But anyway, Denzel, we have 3 shirts. Now mine never gets picked. And we already understand because there's a Nike slogan that says "Just do it," and Yoda says there is no try. But whatever, I'm gonna keep losing. I've accepted that as a human. But what I ask you, Denzel, as I bounce around it like an idiot, we have 3 shirts. One is the Huss Huss, which is the juke noises you've seen on all the Instagrams and the snap faces and all the social media ins, however you say that. But then there is the Thick Voices, which is what I would say is a resplendent Matt Ryan.
Hello.
Just representing one of the best parts of our league, because every season is Thick Boy season in the A7FL. And there's also the Cory Hammond I'll try. So I ask you probably the most important question we ask an episode, and my guys over here are rolling their eyes at me. Are you going to go with the Huss Huss, the Thick Boy season, or the I'll try from the merch store, Denzel? For only $24 with shipping.
I'm probably gonna go with Thick Boy season. I'm a Thick Boy, so why not? Got to represent.
Let's go.
I'm high-fiving a bunch of Angels, boys. Back-to-back weeks. Let's go.
Wow, that is a streak. Matt Ryan is now streaking.
I'm the first Matt Ryan to get back-to-back wins.
Oh my goodness.
Rob's taking this personally. You notice Rob has never brought up the fantasy teams we drafted after I won.
Please stop. Half my team just won a championship. Please stop.
Yeah, and I got Ashanti Worthy and Mark Bagway, so they also won championships.
Sheesh, yeah. I forgot.
Denzel, we just mentioned pre-show that you have a surprise in store for some people. Are you willing to let us know one of the guys that you're kind of focusing your team around, or do you want to keep that a hidden card that you're playing down the road in this high stakes game of A7 Hold'em?
I was thinking we're gonna keep that a hidden card, but why not? Let's just drop the bomb early.
Yes, sir. I like that.
I'm gonna just put it out there. So I'll say it like this: as long as we get everybody we need to, and everything gets done the way it needs to get done in A7FL, Boston is on the scene out there dominating on the field. Hopefully, one of our lead players is a former NFL player, former Canadian player / former XFL player, and his name is Brian Payton. So he will be on there. We officially signed him down this past week for the Boston Omegas. So that is the big surprise there. So, I mean, shoot, if anything, and a person wants to just come in there and meet somebody famous, you get to play with somebody that was on the NFL. Like, you get bragging rights just by saying that. Like,
yeah, and
he's
Peyton,
a former linebacker.
Yeah, coming
I'm
from.
gonna just throw it out there. You get the bragging rights just by saying that. Like, yo, I get to play with a former NFL player, or yo, me and this former NFL player.
Not if he plays linebacker in an inter squad scrimmage. He tackles you so hard that you can't have that reply.
Oregon State alum, played for the Argonauts, one of the classic CFL franchises. That's a guy with a pedigree. Cory, he's your age, so maybe this season you guys can get together and trade stories, talk about Sonic Youth or whatever.
He's gonna crush Cory on a nasty sack.
Y'all saying like Cory
nasty sack? Pause.
Nasty.
What'd you say,
sack.
Denzel? While he's
Pause.
being disgusting.
I said they over here talking like you ancient, like you was out before Rugrats.
I was out when Limp Bizkit was like a totally reasonable reference to make, and Rollin', the song that we thought you were referencing. You know, that's how old I am, basically, is that, you know.
He ain't that old. He's just gassing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 36 when the season starts. That sounds bad when I say it out loud. Yeah, right, Rob? That sounds
you old
bad.
enough to remember, what's her name? That used to wear the red hat and come on TV. I can't remember no more.
Carmen Sandiego, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my, yeah.
I'm old
Wait,
enough
hold
to
on.
that
Wait,
when
that's
you guys were all
no, that's
wondering
still
where she was. I knew.
Carmen Sandiego's the Mendoza line of being old. Fuck.
Listen,
Talk
I know a lot of people who have no
Carmen
clue. Yeah,
Sandiego.
they don't know who that is. They don't know who that is.
Oh, everything hurts and sucks and God, boo.
I'm so old that I saw Rick Meyer play for Notre Dame. Denzel, do you know what position he played?
Rick Meyer.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
But I'm not that much younger than you. I mean, I'm young enough, I guess, at that point.
Well, you invested in our league, so it doesn't matter how old you are. You're basically our boss. So,
and if you want to invest in the A7FL, head on over to a7fl.com/owners. That's a7fl.com/owners today. Be a part of the revolution. It's your time, so invest and bring the A7FL to your town like Denzel did. Bringing it to Boston, we talk about the Omegas, and we're getting close to schedule release season, guys. Denzel, are there any teams in the A7FL that you want to see go up against the Omegas this season? Like, we're hearing rumors about different schedule configurations and different matchups that we'll see throughout 2023. But are there teams on your wish list that you want to see come up to Boston? Like maybe the BIC or someone along those lines in a matchup in the game of the week, maybe?
Honestly, no, not right now. It's really early. I just want my team to get out there, play, showcase what we can do, where we coming from, and let those inner rivalries develop as they come. I can't really single out one team. Honestly, I think all the teams in the A7FL right now are actually really good. To be 100% honest, every game I see is a good game. It's not like I'm sitting there and like.
See, that's the difference, Big Rob and Matt, between a guy that's got a new team and a new division in the West Coast when he's got to play out there, and a guy that's likely going to be playing the New Jersey and Baltimore teams, and he's not trying to start anything before he needs to. Man. So that's a very well played situation there, Denzel. And we could press you further, but you seem like you're one of the good guys, man. So we're not going to give you the what the guys in our league call the buck treatment at this point. But what I will ask you is this: as non-committal as you are about which team you're calling out, based on what you've seen and what kind of got you into this league, what would you say as an investor is the biggest area for growth in this league? Like, what is the kind of tangible, money-making thing that you see that can potentially get me, Matt, and Rob that one step closer to the solid gold boat in the dock?
Merchandise.
Merchandise.
Merchandise. Definitely people like to showboat what they're fans of.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. If you want to represent Go Gru, you're gonna go buy some Go Gru stuff. If you want to represent Rugrats, you're gonna buy some Rugrats stuff. I'm 33 years old. I still go to the store and buy Rugrats stuff. Just because it's not like I'm gonna wear it out. Most of the stuff just sits in my closet, to be all honest. But I'm a fan of that show. It still appeals to me to this day. So people are gonna buy what they like, even if they can't afford it or don't need it. They're gonna do that.
That's true.
The other thing, and I have some other things in the bucket that right now are definitely unique to Boston. I'm pretty sure nobody else has done what I plan to do when this really blows up, and I'm gonna keep that as a surprise, because as long as my plans go the way they go, then it will. I'm just gonna say it will change the face of the A7FL. Like, everybody's gonna be, yo, did you hear what they did in Boston? Are they doing that in Florida? Are they doing that in California? Are they doing that in Nevada? And that's what I have planned. I want that to be the thing. Like, people hear about it, they're like, yeah, I'm watching that A7FL. I'm buying the membership.
Well, you selling it too hard as a tease that you can't release yet, because you just said we got to wait on it. So I appreciate you giving us something to look forward to. But that almost, especially with merchandise, that almost sounds like another parallel that we talked of. I think we had David Isaacs on one time. We were talking about the And One mixtape tour, and how that form of almost like a street basketball to our, keeping with like a like for like metaphor, our street football, and how apparel was built around that. Not that you have to give us any, clue into what you're talking about, but it sounds kind of like an exciting thing like that. And, something that, not only Boston, but A7FL in general can look forward to. And if you're interested in merch, even though we just did it, no, I'm just tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. That's tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. Matt, I got to work on it, because you're going to be, hosting that awesome show, your Catalyst show, and I would like you to promo that. So I have to work on my Matt Ryan impressions, and I already have been watching West Wing. I've been watching 1970s reruns of the what SummerSlam was before it was Autumn. I'm just making some absolute. I'm like,
you got lost. You had the bit, and then you were just careening off the path. But Denzel, before we wrap up this podcast, for prospective players, they want to you want game day players. You want kids who are dedicated, who work hard, who sacrifice, and want to bring this style of football to Boston. How can players sign up? I know you can go to a7fl.com/players. That is a7fl.com/players right now and sign up. But if they are in New England, if they're in Connecticut, Massachusetts, if they're down, up a little further north, what is it that they need to do to contact you to get on the Omegas? We are just over 60 days away from opening day, and if they want to play with an NFL caliber athlete, a CFL caliber athlete, and honestly go up against some of the best football players in the country. When you look at an Ashante Worthy, when you look at a Quattrell Huffin, when you look at Sterry Codrington and the players we're seeing out there in Vegas like an RTC Wilkerson, and obviously Mark Bagway, how can they get into contact with you and become an Omega and be a part of A7FL Boston?
Honestly, easiest way to get in contact with me is through Instagram and or Facebook. A7FL Boston has both, and I'm very active on there. I respond. It's linked straight to my phone. So I'm on there, respond very, very quickly. You send a message, I get back to you. You can also email us, but in all honesty, fastest way to get in contact, Instagram, Facebook. I will respond like that.
Awesome. Denzel, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast, man. Very cool to have you. Really appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you. Appreciate all of y'all.
And make sure, remember, we gave you homework. Might as well just give a quick call or shoot a DM to Tom Brady. A Bill Belichick wouldn't hurt because he's firing coaches left and right. Maybe you get some fodder. He cuts 5'2" white guys all the time that somehow are really great at football. But also, let's try to get in touch with Mr. T. Let's try to get in touch with Mr. T because I think Boston Tea Party guys, come on.
Hey, I like it.
It's a good gimmick. It's a good gimmick. I like it. And
we're on the same page with this.
I've met Belichick. He's a pretty good dude. I'll say that. I met him. He's a good dude. I like him. And his shoe style is off the chain.
What?
Definitely.
Oh, inside shoe information on Bill Belichick. Last thing. Let's go.
Yeah, he's nice. I do a lot of work up here.
So all right.
Belichick was one of them. He was a pretty cool dude.
What's the shoe game? What are we talking about?
Dude, I'll say it like this. He went to a formal event with some Nikes on. All I could say, the first thing I had to say was that, shake his hand. Those some nice shoes. You wearing a formal, whole nice, you got them Nikes on though. I wouldn't expect you to wear them Nikes, and he just looks at me, he was like, yeah, my shoe game tight.
He said, Bill Belichick.
He didn't say that, but that's what the look
I was going to say.
That was the look. It was like,
hold up. My shoe game. Like if you got that from Bill Belichick, that would have been.
We're on to Cincinnati, and my shoe game is tight.
Like, he gave that look, but anyway, though, in general, he's just a cool dude. Got to listen to him speak. Got to have a little conversation with him. He's cool. I didn't bring up A7FL though. That was not the time, the place, and you shouldn't talk. My personal opinion: don't talk football when you're a competitive league, or at least eventually gonna be a competitive league.
Right.
Be smart about it.
Hey, I'm a quote a great man. The worst you could get is a no, right?
Yeah.
So this is true, or shut out, locked out. In that case,
and removed by you said you're getting the Thick Boy season shirt. Let's be honest. The dudes that are the running security for that man, they're also
no. It's just Matt Patricia with an earpiece.
Matt Patricia's not allowed near Bill Belichick anymore. Did you see what he did to that offense? Come on. He's on the Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. So if you could make those calls for us again, one of the bombs you dropped though, Bill Belichick shoe game tight. I wish he really said that as a quote though. That would have been amazing. Anyway, Matt, I killed the show enough. I think it's dead. You could take us out, I guess, if you want, or you want to keep me murdering it.
We'll rest the program here. A short show this week. It is a busy week in the life of Matt Ryan and as well as Big Rob, Fabien, and Cory Hammond. Shout out to Big Rob, one of the young Fabians out there putting in work in the basketball field. JV.
Appreciate the shout out.
JV game getting a little delayed tonight because the varsity team couldn't know that the big dogs were about to play. But, life happens. But I won't be on the call for A7FL Nevada this week. It will be Cory Hammond and Big Rob Fabien in the final week of the regular season. If you want to be a part of that, head on over to our YouTube channel. But if you live in Las Vegas, head on over to the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. You can follow A7FL NV. That's A7FL NV for more information. And also on Instagram at the A7FL. As always, you can get the stuff at tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. That's tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. We'll be back next week with another edition of the A7FL 3-on-1 podcast. For Denzel White, for Big Rob Fabien, for Cory Hammond, I'm Matt Ryan, as always, telling you, don't be an asshole.
I'll try.